In terms of male and female Pokemon breeding, Vaporeon is the most compatible Pokemon. Hello there, person watching this video. My name's The Beak. And if you're an old man, just like me, if you grew up in the 2000s, then you know that Pokemon was everywhere. Games, movies, the TV show, cards, weird collabs, Satanism. You couldn't escape it. Little bit of The Beak lore here for you. Remember how in my last video, this one, did the internet ruin Sonic? Remember how I confessed to being a Sonic the Hedgehog fan? That actually really still hurts to say. I still see him in my brain. The Beak, the Hedgehog. I might actually love Pokemon even more. This franchise, it raised me. I'm both a Sonic the Hedgehog fan and also a Pokemon. Random horse nuzzles me. Ooh, easy now. Pokemon Platinum is one of my favorite games of all time. I have the Sinnoh gym badges on my desk. I love this game. It's right up there with Call of Duty Black Ops, Sonic and the Black Knight, and Ultra Kill. Giratina, oh my god, it's so peak. But here's the thing. Because I've been a lifelong Pokemon fan, because I love to give Nintendo my shekels year after year after year, outside of that one time kid me got jump scared searching up Pokemon art on Google, I've also had a front row seat in seeing how Pokemon on the internet has changed. Sometimes for the better, and sometimes for the worse. And that whole modern Pokemon is bad take, yeah, I've seen it rise firsthand. But, and now this is quite a big but, I didn't realize it at the time, but a few weeks ago when I first decided to dig into the modern Pokemon is bad versus no, it's not cope, old head debate, it wouldn't be like anything I'd ever done before. Nah, God, no. This journey, it would take me somewhere completely unexpected. It would take me all the way here. The United States of America. But not just any place in the United States of America, no. Hello? This is your captain speaking. Sorry to pause your in-flight entertainment, but I have an announcement. It's time that you subscribe to the Beak YouTube channel, join my Discord server, and get ready. Because in exactly a couple of seconds, we are going to be landing in the Unova region in real life, all to have a look at what in the name of all that's holy the internet did to Pokemon. Oh, and go follow my new Instagram, at the Beakstagram. I crave the validation of seeing numbers increasing on screens. Please. New York City. Needs no introduction. The Empire State Building. Spider-Man. Editor, throw some other New York things on screen right now, please. Wow! But, person watching this video, before I even landed in New York, I felt this strange urge to do something that I hadn't done in literal years. Something quite nostalgic for me, if I'm being completely honest. Whispering to me at 3 a.m. from the corner of my room. Download Pokemon Go again! I know it's pay to win, but download Pokemon Go! Why is my character so fucking ugly? Some more The Beak lore for you. A couple of years ago, oh my god, I was hard addicted to Pokemon Go. Like, it was actually bad. One time, I jumped out of my mom's moving car on the way to school to catch I don't know, I think it was a Rhyhorn. And playing Pokemon Go in New York City, that had always been a dream of mine, you know? Like, I had to play Pokemon Go in South Africa. Do you know how ass that was? Where the fuck is everything? And weirdly enough, completely coincidentally, I just happened to be in New York at the exact same time as Pokemon Go Fest, the big Pokemon Go event thing. It's funny how the universe works sometimes, huh? And hey, while we're on the topic of Pokemon nostalgia and actual Pokemon information, I reckon we should take it back a bit. Let's link the mainframe, hop in the teleporter, and travel all the way back to the beginning. Where did all of this start? It started here. Place Japan. Yes, the year is 1983, and besides being the year where William Afton's son It was also the year where the first ever self-published edition of a magazine called Game Freaks came out. Created by this guy, Satoshi Tajiri, this magazine centered around video games. Fun fact, at the time, these kinds of magazines weren't really a thing yet, so congrats Tajiri, you successfully captured a gap in the market. Hooray! Yippee! Tajiri went on to become a very respected games journalist within the emerging Japanese video game industry. And this is where things start to get interesting. You see, a few years later, Tajiri and a few other fellow game enthusiasts, like Ken Sugimori, Game Freak's illustrator, and
Shigesato Itoi,
a friend of Tajiri's, would start an informal game development company called, and trust me, you're not going to believe this, Game Freak. And hey, you know what? Now that we have our game development company, we actually have to develop something, right? Okay, what can we make? I know, I have an idea. I used to run around and catch bugs when I was younger, so how about a game where you run around an island and catch peculiar creatures in balls? We can even put it on Nintendo's new handheld, the Game Boy. Hey!
Tsunekazu Ishihara.
You have friends at Nintendo, right? How about we pitch this idea to them? Okay, good news. They love it. Gentlemen, let's get to work. And work they did, day after day after day, night after night after night, work. You see, a big problem Game Freak had was that they had never actually developed a game like this before, but they didn't let that stop them. And eventually, yes! Finally, we have something! It's called Pokémon Red and Pokémon Green, or Pokémon Red and Pokémon Blue if you live outside of Japan. Man, I hope people like it. Sir, the people love it! And the rest, yeah, it's history. Games after games after games, cards, TV shows. I'm fucking tweaking! Creepypastas, movies, plush toys, watches, money. So much money! Pokemon became the biggest media franchise in the entire world. But come on, person watching this video, we all got our own nostalgic Pokemon memory. Big one for me was playing Pokemon Platinum on the way home on the tubes when I was a kid. And that other time when a friend of mine traded me an Arceus from his Game Shark copy of Pokemon Pearl, a Pokemon that would get wiped from existence when I decided it would be a good idea to restart my save file. You can't get Arceus normally in Gen 4, you fucking idiot! But, and now this is another big but, as time went on and Pokemon only continued to get even more popular, if I said that the quality of the games improved alongside the rise in popularity, if I said that, even as a massive Pokemon fan, I'd be lying on the internet. And that, right there, all of this broken, shitty gameplay, it's one of the main reasons why people say that modern Pokemon is bad. But more on that later, because good news, person watching this video! In the time it's taken me to briefly explain the history of Pokemon, I've ended up walking here, the Empire State Building. Yes, the Empire State Building, a beacon of New York that soars well above the clouds. Built in 1931, this bastion of American patriotism is testament to the fact that Americans can do anything. I didn't look at any of it. Well, I'm busy catching a Stuffle. Look, here he is. He's called creature. And hey, you know what, person watching this video? Walking around New York and playing Pokemon Go, it awoke something deep inside of me. A feeling that I hadn't felt. Look out, it's King Kong! Feeling that I hadn't felt for years. The urge to be the best like no one ever was. He said it! By the time I could put words to what I was feeling, I had made myself a promise deep inside my brain. I will prove to younger Pokemon Go obsessed me that I still have it. Before I leave this city, I will take a gym in Central Park. But hey, that is gonna take quite a bit of training, you know? So for now, I think it's the perfect time to talk about something that captivated me and millions of people around the world the most when it comes to Pokemon. Well, at least one of the main things. So much so that it even inspired some people to create their own Pokemon games. That being the sense of adventure. You see, person watching this video, at its core, Pokemon is a franchise built off of exploring. Sure, we all have memories of battles, the gym leaders, the starters we picked, our specific Pokemon teams. Yeah, man, this time I'm gonna play Sinnoh differently. But here's the thing. Again, we wouldn't have any of those memories if we didn't go out and explore in the first place. Like, not too long ago, I finally got around to playing and finishing Pokemon Legends Arceus for the first time, or Pokemon Legends Arceus. It's a go-to game, by the way. Like, what can I say? I'm a Gen 4 fanboy. You should play it. It's really good. Spoiler warning for a game that came out in 2022 here. But, oh my god, that final 3-phase battle with Volo, Giratina, and then... Okay, thank god, finally it's over. Holy shit! It is so peak. Oh my god, it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And bro, when I got to that one area that looks suspiciously like Eterna Forest, and the Eterna Forest music started playing in my ears, oh my god, man. Actual goosebumps. Like, holy, I genuinely got emotional. Like, oh my god. I was instantly transported back to being a kid, playing Pokemon Platinum on the tubes, walking through Eterna Forest for the first time, hearing that music for the first time. And I would have never had that moment if I didn't go out and explore, if I didn't go out on an adventure. And that's what I love the most about Pokemon. Sure, I could just walk to the next plot point in the story, like, oh, I need to go from here to here, this town to this town, and there's a cave there, but I'm not going to go in that cave because I need to do this gym battle to possess the story. I could just do that. Or I could see what's in that cave, what's behind those trees, what's behind that next path. I want to go talk to the old man standing in the corner. Yeah, personally, I think I'd rather do that. If the game tells me to go right, I first want to go left. I don't know why, it's just something that I love to do. And that instinct to explore, it stuck with me in not just other Pokemon games, but in every single other game I play. And I'm sure I'm not alone in saying that. If you're a Pokemon fan, you probably feel the exact same way as me. You may have even felt compelled to create your own Pokemon region and share it across the internet. Something that wouldn't have ever been possible without the internet. Now, obviously, the quality of these fan Pokemon games varies a lot, but you got games like Pokemon Brick Bronze, Pokemon Uranium, Pokemon Theta Emerald, Pokemon Emerald Sea Glass, Pokemon Insurgents, Pokemon Dark Rising. Even more The Beak lore for you here real quick. The first ever name my YouTube channel had before The Beak, before Succulent Penguino, it was Dark Rising. Oh, fuck yeah, I was such an edgelord. Yeah, man, I can't wait to watch Epic Gaming Moments #1 uploaded by Dark Rising. And whenever I searched up my name on YouTube, all I would see, all over my search, it would be Pokemon Dark Rising. But, I mean, hey, the more things change, the more things stay the same, I guess. Because now, when I search up my channel name, that being The Beak, all I see is that fucking Phineas and Ferb character. More important than my schizophrenic ramblings, though, as I've said, regardless of the quality of these fan games, I think it's really cool that people felt inspired to create their own Pokemon stuff and share it on the internet. I think that's really, really cool. And hey, since we're on the topic of Pokemon regions, ever since 20 2016, the world itself became a Pokemon region thanks to Pokemon Go. And speaking from my personal experience with Pokemon Go combined with the internet, it was really cool joining online communities and playing Pokemon Go with hundreds of thousands of people around the entire world. I distinctly remember during the pandemic, we couldn't go outside, obviously, and but Pokemon Go, you can't go outside Pokemon Go. That's a massive problem. No, Pokemon Go is based and built off of you touching grass. But good news, person watching this video, even more good news. Niantic, the creators of Pokemon Go, they implemented this remote raid feature where even though we're locked in our homes, you can join online Pokemon Go raids anywhere in the world from the comfort of your own home. Like that desk below my camera, I joined so many remote raids. I got to play Pokemon Go with thousands of people across the entire world. You have no idea how much time I spent shiny hunting a Giratina through remote raids. Hundreds of thousands of hours. On a real, I really don't think we can or should ever downplay how massive Pokemon Go was. This game, it was huge. And now I can happily say that I A, have a shiny Giratina, the best looking shiny ever, and B, have a normal Giratina from Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, Malaysia. I don't even know where this is. Like, where is this? I don't know. I didn't even know this was a thing. But I caught a Giratina there. Something that wouldn't have ever been possible without the internet. And all of those Pokemon Go memories started flooding back into my brain the more I played. But the thing is, I wasn't just playing Pokemon anymore. I was living it. Everywhere I went, I had Pokemon Go open. And sure, while I did catch a cold somehow and, felt kinda ass, the more I strolled around New York, the more peculiar things I came across. While walking along something called the High Line, which is this old subway line that got turned into a massive garden, a pretty cool place, I found a massive pigeon aura farming. I don't know what this means. My brain is too small for this. It's just a giant pigeon. Why is there a giant pigeon? Then I saw it. A man in a full Pink Panther fursuit on a billboard staring at me. I went to a vintage market. You think I'm gonna buy an old watch? The fuck no! I'm busy! Again, I'm catching an Eevee. I ended up in the subway standing next to a suspicious stain. War Thunder in real life. I almost got into a fist fight with a scammer outside Trump Tower. I walked the whole Brooklyn Bridge, and I didn't look at any of the views or anything. Now, God no, I'm too busy playing Pokemon Go. Though, something about this seems familiar. Holy shit, it's Spider-Man! Crackhead Slender Man! And after all of this, I felt it. I was getting better. I was learning. Fragments of long-forgotten Pokemon Go strategies were returning to my mind. I was truly back on the path of becoming the best, like no one ever was. But then... Oh, look. It's a side quest notification. Hello, the Beak. You now have to hop on a plane and head down to Greenville, South Carolina. All right. Let's do it. And it was while I was on that plane eating my nutritious breakfast of Honey Nut Cheerios and a Sprite that I realized something. Man, the good impact the internet has had on Pokemon. Oh my god, there's so much. Besides fan games and online communities, you got art, songs, animations, awesome YouTube videos and YouTubers, memes, fan theories, people keeping the older games alive through emulation. There is so much great Pokemon content here that wouldn't be a thing without the internet. The internet helped keep Pokemon alive in between games, and it gave fans a place to create, connect, and explore their love for the series. But then, at the same time, sure, people created a lot of good, but others created lots of bad. I have seen things horrible things. Now, heading into this section, the bad side of Pokemon on the internet, I want to start with this. Hi, my name's The Beak, and welcome to my Lucario Peculiar Suspicious Art Speedrun. 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Yeah, if you spend any time in the online Pokemon community, then you know that you and me, we've had some things burned into our brains. We've all had an Alex Mason numbers attack at some point. And all of this weird stuff, let me throw on my Sunny V2 video essay YouTuber voice here. Missing for 3 months. Can you find this YouTuber? Is just one of the many ways that the internet has ruined Pokemon. Like, bro, I know I said this all the way back in the intro of this video, but if you search up any Pokemon art, especially art involving certain Pokemon like Lucario and Gardevoir and Lopunny and Vaporeon, you will see horrible things. And honestly, you want to know what sucks? Like really sucks? If you're a fan of Pokemon like Vaporeon or Gardevoir or Lucario or any of those ones, you can't even say that online anymore. You can't admit that. You're done. You're finished. It's over. Like, for real. And look, I know that you're probably gonna think a little bit less of me for saying this because this is quite a big thing to confess on the internet. But I like Vaporeon. I think Vaporeon looks cool. When I first got Vaporeon, all the way back millions of years ago in Pokemon Go, when I first got Vaporeon Nord, holy shit, that's an old reference. Bro, when I first got Vaporeon Nord, I was so fucking hyped. But every single time I think about Vaporeon now, do you want to know what I think about? I don't think about a cool Pokemon. No, I think about that copy pasta. The one that I read at the very beginning of this video. The one that goes, in terms of male to female breeding, Vaporeon is the most compatible with humans, and then it like goes on to say some horrible stuff. It's just horrible. I feel like I want to overdose on full restores. It's tragic. Like, it really, I just want to enjoy Vaporeon in peace. I just want to have it on my Pokemon teams without being reminded, without having a PTSD attack. Let me have this, please. Fuck off, Gooners. And hey, while we're on the topic of strange Pokemon things created by the Pokemon community on the internet, I think we should take this time to talk about the community in general. Because as time has gone on, the Pokemon community, it's got itself a bit of a reputation. And that reputation, it's yet another reason why people online think that modern Pokemon is bad. Now, look, I get it. Not everyone in the Pokemon community is toxic, obviously not. You, person watching this video, you're probably part of the Pokemon community. Like, that's not a crazy thing to say at all. Like, there's no nukes dropping out the sky. We're not gonna have to make a mad dash to Vault 111. And you're probably a nice person. But, man, over the years, some people in this community, what are we even doing, man? Like, besides the weirdos, I swear to God, I've seen it again and again and again. Niantic or Nintendo or the Pokemon Company or Game Freak, they'll make an objectively bad decision. They'll do something objectively bad, but then you'll see people in their comment sections like God defending them. It's like, leave the billion-dollar company alone. Okay, bro, you're not gonna get a Switch 2 for defending Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Oh my god, Shintaro Furukawa! Take it, my son. Oh my god, I can't believe I own Switch 2. What? You think you own it? It's like some people have developed Pokemon Stockholm Syndrome. Like, I really love this franchise. I really do. But I can still criticize it. You can still love something and criticize it at the same time. These aren't two mutually exclusive things. You can do both. Take Pokemon Legends Arceus, for example, or Pokemon Legends Arceus. I genuinely think it's one of the best Pokemon games ever made. But at the same time, sure, while I love Legends Arceus, I love the vibes of the game, I love the art style, it's clear to see that corners were cut in specific places. Like, standing here and thinking about it now, one of the first things that pops into my brain is some of the animations in this game. Like, some of them, bro, they're really, really rough. Like, you can't deny that fact. Something that isn't new to Pokemon at all, by the way. And I can say that while still loving Pokemon Legends Arceus. Some people in the Pokemon community need to learn that being a fan of something doesn't mean being a full-time defense attorney. You don't have to cosplay Saul Goodman. But, and this is another big but, the things that I just mentioned, they are just some of the many reasons people have when they think that modern Pokemon is bad. And sure, while there are a lot more, like the prices of older games and like cards, scalpers, and outdated game design and all of that type of stuff, like I'm sure you have reasons that I haven't even thought of in my brain. Let me know in the comments. There is something that I really, really want to hone in on here for a second. Something that I also haven't really seen that many people talk about. That being AI Pokemon shorts on YouTube and AI Pokemon stuff in general. Now, as we all know, AI is everywhere in the big 2025. Like, it's actually getting bad. I think I see some weird, uncanny piece of AI art every single day now. And just like how we saw with Sonic the Hedgehog in my last video, Pokemon, it's also got its fair share of just AI slop content. What if Pokemon characters were real? The neutral origin of Pikachu. Guess the Pokemon legendaries from their AI-generated art. What is this even meant to be? Groudon? That looks nothing like Groudon. This is Groudon. What the fuck is this? And on a real person watching this video, I genuinely do not know who this content is for. Like, sure, okay, while it is slop, some AI content is, I guess it's watchable, like those Reddit Am I the Arsehole stories with the text-to-speech voice and the auto-generated stories on ChatGPT, like that type of stuff. But this stuff, like this AI Pokemon stuff, what? Who is watching this? Who is rotting on their phone and thinking to themselves, man, oh, you know what I want to watch today? I want to watch Pokemon characters reimagined in AI-generated live action. Back in the day, if we wanted to make and watch some Pokemon in real life videos, we had to put in effort. Now though, all I have to do is use some AI chatbot and enter a few prompts. Wow. But that is enough of all that negative stuff, because person watching this video, even more good news. In the time it's taken us to look at some of the negative impacts the internet has had on Pokemon, my plane landed in Greenville, and my Pokemon Go journey, I've been busy indoor skydiving, man-made horrors beyond my comprehension, Bass Pro Shop, and the home of NASCAR. Woo, baby, I love NASCAR. I love when the men drink milk. Thing is, though, it was while I was wandering the halls of the Charlotte Motor Speedway and becoming more and more American that I noticed something. A gym. And that got me thinking. Before I conquer a gym in Central Park, I need to see if I'm even ready for something as big as that. And this gym found in the heart of the Smith Tower, it was the perfect opportunity. I've been playing Pokemon Go non-stop for days, getting better every single second. And these Pokemon, Rampardos, Shiny Wailmer, Blissey, Durant, and Metagross, they would be my test. Am I even worthy of taking a gym in Central Park? Now's the time to find out. I I made the NASCAR gym my bitch. Mattress, you shall be my soldier of righteousness. Protect this gym in my name. Because now I know I'm ready. I can face the final boss of my Pokemon Go journey, a gym in Central Park. But as my plane soared back to New York City, and as I stared out the window thinking about the battle to come, I had another revelation. Sure, I'm about to take on the final boss of my in-game journey, but the real final boss, the real monster of the internet and Pokemon, it's Nintendo themselves. Now look, we all know this. Nintendo has made some bangers, you know, they got Mario and Pokemon and Mario, but he watched an episode of House and Wii Sports and Nintendogs Peak. These are all really good games. But what they aren't is a good company, because like sure, while they did make Pokemon Platinum one of my favorite games of all time, Nintendo, their Team Galactic, Nintendo sucks. Like, let's say you're just some guy online who grew up loving Pokemon and maybe you got dreams, passion, and some free time on your hands. So you decide, hey, what if I made my own Pokemon region? We spoke about it earlier. Oh, I just got an email. Fuck you! Pokemon Gary's mod stuff. Gone. Fan game site Relic Castle. Gone. Pokemon Brick Bronze. Gone. Pokemon Uranium. Gone. And it's not even just the games. They've heavily targeted stuff like music in the past. Like, while researching stuff for this video, I came across an article talking about how Nintendo, they hit a YouTuber called Gilvasana with 3,500 copyright strikes. Like, that's insane. I've been using YouTube for a long time. Like, I know it says on my channel my first video was like in 2017 or something, but I've had my channel in existence since 2013, and I've never heard of anything like that before. What crime, what heinous acts did Gilvasana commit? He uploaded music from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl soundtrack and other Nintendo games. Bro, I'm even putting this video at risk by using Pokemon music in it. I love Pokemon music. I genuinely do. Even if the games are bad, you know that the music is going to be fire. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog in that regard. And I really want to share Pokemon music with you because I think it's really good. But Nintendo doesn't want me to share it. Why? Like, why is this a bad thing, Nintendo? Why can't I share my love for music with the people watching this video? Why? I want to share it. You know how I just referenced Sonic the Hedgehog? He's another character who gets tons of attention in fan games and all of that type of stuff. And you don't see Sega mass cease and desisting that type of stuff. Nah, God, no. They embrace it. Sometimes they even hire fans. They hire people who have created fan games. If anything, it's like Nintendo. They've got a checklist. Was it made by fans? Tick. Was it made for free? Tick. Is it better than everything that we're currently putting out? Tick. For God's sake, Nintendo are still trying to sue Power World for patent infringement. You remember Power World, right? It was that game that was popular for like 2 months and was better than every recent Pokemon game. No, we can't have that. No, we're the only people who can release games where you catch monsters in balls. Hey, Nintendo, there's a really bad game called Ark Survival Evolved where you do something similar. And I'm not suggesting anything, but maybe you should have a look and get rid of that horrible game. And look, there is so much more stuff I can talk about here regarding how ass of a company Nintendo is, how greedy of a company Nintendo is, how Nintendo and the Pokemon company love to shovel out just slop, horrible, broken messes of games that make you yearn for the past when Pokemon was good. But herein lies another massive problem. Unless you still have your original hardware, like your original DS or your original 3DS and an original copy of the game you want to play, the only proper way you can play older Pokemon games is either by spending over $200 on Amazon, or you can download a ROM and emulate them.
What did you just say?
Yeah, Nintendo, they hate emulation and ROM file hosting websites. Like, their war against emulation and these kinds of websites, bro, it is so well documented. And now I want you to look me dead in my eyes and make sure you fully comprehend the syllables that are going to come flying out of my mouth. I am not spending over $200 on a game that came out over 10 years ago. Emulation, it's saving and preserving Pokemon. There's no reliable alternative to play the older Pokemon games anymore. You can't even buy them off of Nintendo's website. And if it wasn't for these kinds of systems allowing you to play the older games, and if it wasn't for emulation and ROM file websites hosting older Pokemon ROM files, like the now extinct LoveRoms.com, Nintendo are the reason it's extinct. A, older Pokemon games would almost virtually be completely gone off of the internet, and B, the things keeping Pokemon popular in between larger game releases like your Nuzlocke and your challenge runs and all of that type of stuff, they wouldn't be a thing. Because, bro, let me tell you, the actual like Pokemon related stuff Nintendo has been putting out, in all honesty, I'm surprised Pokemon hasn't died. Because, bro, I can stand here and waffle on and on and on and on and on about it for ages. Like, oh my god. You know how excited I was for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? Like, Gen 4 remakes. Finally, I'm a Gen 4 fanboy. This is like Christmas for me. But then I actually played Brilliant Diamond. Vomit is coming up my esophagus. So, let's sum this up. Nintendo, they don't want you to buy the games. They don't want you to emulate the games or download ROM files. They sure as hell don't want you making fan games. Does Nintendo even like Pokemon anymore? And honestly, it makes me so fucking pissed off. Like, oh, you know how hard it is to love Pokemon when you know that it's owned by Nintendo / the Pokemon Company / whoever. Oh my god! Like, Pokemon could be so much more. Like, so much more. Imagine if Nintendo treated Pokemon how modders treat Pokemon, or how fan game creators treat Pokemon, or how just fans treat Pokemon. Imagine if there was actual innovation or voice acting. Imagine if they actually gave a shit instead of shoveling out slop every single couple of years. But why would you want that? We're Pokemon fans, and all Nintendo is going to give us, all the Pokemon company is going to give us, all of the companies are going to give us, all they're going to give us is broken games and horrible FPS and terrible animations and Dexit. Though, speaking of Dexit, you can buy the Pokemon back. But if anything, maybe that's why I'm so determined to win. Why I need to win. Because the Pokemon that I grew up with, that version of Pokemon still exists in my heart. And I'm gonna honor it the only way I know how. By walking to Central Park, opening Pokemon Go, and doing what I said I'd do at the beginning of this video. Yes, person watching this video, it's time. Central Park. It's a park, and it's central. And let me tell you, bro, walking around here in real life, it was such a weird experience. And it was buzzing. Since it was Pokemon Go Fest, there was so much stuff going on. So many people walking around playing Pokemon Go. Pokemon and gyms and Pokestops everywhere. Too bad I couldn't actually spin any of those Pokestops because of the sheer amount of shit I got from completing all my tasks at once. In all honesty, it was really, really cool seeing everything going on around me. I even got a Golurk. He's called Glurk, but then, as I walked past Bethesda Terrace, that place where that one part of John Wick 2 was filmed, I heard something peculiar. Oh my god. I caught a Kyogre in a Pokemon Go raid in Central Park. Like, sure, the footage did get corrupted. The footage is gone forever. But honestly, it's one of the coolest things I think I've ever done in my entire life. The whole experience, it was just so cool. I've never had anything like that happen to me before. Sure, I've got legendary Pokemon in raids, but I haven't gone to a raid in public where there's a whole bunch of other people playing and you all come together to catch the legend. It's such a cool memory. It's one of the coolest things I've ever done in my entire life. And with my newfound legendary ally, I was ready to finally take on a gym in Central Park. Nauenberg Bandshell, a full health Blissey, Rhydon, Inteleon, Rhyperior, Shiny Charmander, and an Archeops. This is the moment that I had been training for. It was time to confront my destiny. Was I going to be able to beat it? There is only one way to find out. I won! I actually won! I finally did it! After days and days and days of walking and playing Pokemon Go, I did what I set out to do. Beat a gym in Central Park. Too bad as soon as I beat it, some moochers from Team Valor put their own Pokemon on the gym. Fucking frauds. But I won. And I felt things I hadn't felt for years. Honestly, this is a memory I will keep in my brain forever. And while I walked back to the subway station, all the love I have for Pokemon, it flooded my brain. And the further I walked, the further I was reminded about how much Pokemon has influenced me. And then I thought about the golden question. Did the internet ruin Pokemon? It's weird, isn't it? It didn't ruin it entirely, but it definitely made it more complicated in a way that all of us older fans deeply feel. On the one hand, it made it better. It helped us build communities. It inspired creativity. It helped keep the games alive in between massive releases. Emulation preserves the older games. But then, on the other hand, it's also true that the internet's been used to create so much Pokemon slop. It's used by toxic people in the fandom to god defend anything and anything. Gooners and, of course, Nintendo. Oh my god, Nintendo. They have used the internet to destroy and will keep using it to destroy so much content. So, did the internet ruin Pokemon? I don't think so. But it definitely made it harder to love. Though, in moments like these, after accomplishing something I never thought I'd ever do in my entire life, do you want to know what thought was floating around in my brain and in my skull? Man, I love Pokemon.
And with all that being said, person watching this video, we've come to the end of our journey. Yeah, Central Park. It's a bit weird being here in person, but person watching this video, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe, all the usual YouTuber stuff, and yeah, I think I'm gonna go keep playing Pokemon Go.
Subscribe to the Beak.